So I posted the link in chat. And
All right.
So basically, it looks like it's a hand mage deck.
Yeah.
That is the title.
What's your first thoughts on it? What's your
And it
first thoughts
plays
on this deck,
Hunters.
Firebats?
Yep.
Alright, so we got Frostbolt, Arcane Intellect, Duplicated Spirit. We got the Fireballs in there too, which has often been cut for the Handmage style of deck. One Polymorph, one Water Elemental. So we cut a Water Elemental from like the standard hypes list. One Blizzard, one Flame Strike. Added in Sunfury Protectors, which is kind of tricky to play with because they can sometimes get duplicated and you don't really want that. You want your higher value minions getting duplicated. And then a Defender of Argus, which I don't think Defender of Argus is very strong, so I don't think I would ever play Defender of Argus in a hand mage. Then you have the Twilight Drakes and the Belcher, the Straza. I think it's trying to be tech, like it's like Hype's hand mage, but trying to be teched more for like Hunter, so it can be better used on ladder. That's what I'm seeing here. I don't think the Fireballs fit in with the theme of the deck of trying to get board control and duplicate your bigger minions and then replay them. So I don't like the addition of Fireballs to the hand mage deck. I think the Sun Furies are fine to help it compete with Hunter. But and the Mad Scientist edition is alright just to keep up with tempo decks like Zoo and such. But I think I would cut Argus and I would cut Fireballs and try to get more threat-oriented minions. Maybe throw in like Sylvanas or a Black Knight, and then throw in like a Doomsayer or some sort of freeze stall to help out with the faster matchups. Because right now I think it's too all over the place to be that consistent.
Yeah, I agree. So you look at the deck and you're like, how did he fit all this stuff in compared to Hype's deck? And basically the answer is he cut a bunch of like corners on one-ofs rather than actually cutting stuff out. Except there's one card I saw that he cut out. He cut out Frost Nova, which is actually a super powerful card. Hyped actually like went more freeze oriented into BlizzCon in the regionals. He ran every freeze card, even 2 Chronicle, 2 Blizzard. But Crusher cut down on like a Blizzard, a Water LA, a Poly, Ice Block, Ice Barrier to try and make his scientists more reliably get duplicate. I don't think Mountain Giant's very strong still. It's good in certain matchups, but I think you're already good against those matchups, which is like kind of what I assume Hype's logic was when he only runs Twilight Drakes. I agree on Defender of Argus not being very strong, but I can see how against Hunters, which you have to actually run into, you want Taunters for your Moltens. That's like your win conditions, sort of. Yeah, it's obviously fine. I don't think this is ever gonna, head into a tournament. But it's just a fun deck, if you want to play Handlock but not be Handlock. It seems like a much weaker Handlock, actually. Like, if you're not gonna run freeze cards, really, like Frost Nova, that's like the mage's uniqueness. Is besides their secrets, the freeze effects are just no other class has anything like it.
Yeah, there's just way too many one-ups with the corner cutting, like you said, to try and fit all the stuff in.
Yeah,
So.
When this deck works, it's probably extremely strong. That's the thing about one-ofs, is when you draw them at the right time, it seems very smart. But two-ofs will just improve your win rate a lot if you do them correctly.
Alright, so the next deck list was from Helmet Wear, which is actually a Miracle Rogue, which obviously went through a lot of changes recently with the Rogue Knife.
Oh. Weird deck.
Yeah, he seems to be running like stealth minions. So
Yeah.
Jungle Panthers.
Seems kind of like a theme deck if Hearthstone had theme decks. It's
Patient
kind of-
Assassins.
it's lacking a win condition from what I see. I guess the win condition is you cold blood stuff and then conceal it. And you're allowed to cold blood stuff because your stuff sticks around since it's stealthed. So I guess I can kind of see that. Patient Assassin seems pretty bad still.
I mean, when it works, it works.
Shade of Naxxramas is like the strongest stealth card you have. I mean, that card's been run in tournament Miracle Rogue decks before.
I
I would
think
suggest you play Violet Teacher, though. It works really well with what you're trying to do.
also, I think Stranglethorn Tiger needs to be replaced with Loatheb. They have
Oh,
really
yeah.
similar effects if you're ahead on board. Like, they're not going to be
Yeah.
able to kill Loatheb out of hand with removal. And if you like play Loatheb and then like Cold Blood something and then hit him in the face with it, it's like super strong because then they have to react to the 5/5 body and the now like 8 damage Jungle Panther of Doom.
Yeah, and it also saves you from lethal from a ton of different decks. Like,
Yeah.
it just extends your life. It's like an ice block against certain decks.
All right. When you guys post a deck list, in the description when you next to the deck, just write us a little thing. Like if you're looking to go into like a competitive scene, if you're looking to make the theme more fun for your friends, or it'll help us out where we can help us to help you basically.
Also, like Worgen Infiltrator seems like another card that is just kind of go along with the theme, but it's not that powerful. Because there's a lot of a difference between 1 health and 2 health and stealth. Like Fan of Knives, Flurry, etc. Swipe, I'll kill it.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it has very much impact for being one of the 30 cards, especially when Miracle Rogue decks tend to cycle a lot. So it's important that since you're going to get through like all 30 of your cards in the control matchup and such, you don't want to have cards that do like absolutely nothing later in the game.
I would just put Shibs in instead.
Yeah.
Helps your
Shibs.
consistency. Oh, you don't have preps as well. I think you said something about that, though.
Oh, there's no preps? Preps one of the best cards in Miracle Rogue.
Oh, no, there's something else about preps in chat. So, prep is an epic, so maybe he doesn't have access to that. But the deck's going to be a lot weaker without it.
Yeah.
I would say, like, if you want to play this deck and, like, you're looking to upgrade it, your very next upgrade should be preparations.
Yeah, for Patient Assassins.
Yeah, preps for Patient Assassins, Shivs for Worgens, and Loatheb for Tiger. And I would try and fit at least 1 Violet Teacher in. Like, I'd take out maybe a Jungle Panther. Or you could take out any card, really. Like an Azure Drake, because you're kind of
Yeah, that's
clustered
what I
on
was gonna
5.
say.
You have no 4, but you have like 5 5s. Other than that, I mean, you're just kind of going for a more minion-based Miracle Rogue, which is going to have weaker consistency.
Another thing you could try is what Tyree does since he runs so many minions. He runs Sprint, but you're definitely going to need preps if you do this, and then it allows you to always hold prep in your opening hand because you have the consistency of drawing into either one of 2 Auctioneers or the Sprint to then be able to draw with. So you can always guaranteed have that prep available for having a better cycle off gadgets in. So if you could somehow fit in a Sprint in there and the 2 preps, that would really help it a lot for any form of minion-based miracle. And then just remember to always hold prep off the mulligan.
Yeah, Tere's deck is actually really interesting because you can't just like, from what I've tested it quite a bit recently, and it almost seems like perfect, the list. He didn't change anything after the patch, which was odd to me, but it works so well. Like, you need the Shadow Steps, which means you need Leroy or a Charger, but I think Leroy might still be the best. Alex Strauss is extremely powerful against Hunters, because their win condition is to put you really low and kill you with Hero Power and Kill Command. And Alex Strauss is just like, okay, now I win instead of you. It actually makes the matchup favorable. And so it's hard to just like put in, I think you could arguably put in Sprint standalone, but if you're going to put in, I think Alex Strauss is really good because Hunter's so popular. But if you put that in, then you need Shadow Steps, you need Leroy. You have to change your deck. I think his list might be the strongest right now as far as Miracle Rogue.
Man.
Alright, so I guess we'll just do one last deck list before we just wrap up with Q&A. So this deck looks like it's a Druid deck with Malekith. Pounce Spell
Oh,
Power,
baby.
Moonfire.
There you go.
The Moonkin.
So, what are you guys' thoughts on like Malagos Rogue? I mean, Malagos Druid in general.
Okay. So it's like ramp into Alex them, and then Malagos kill them, and you kind of want to like save innervates. But it also has combo as your other kill condition. Okay.
Double Savage Roar seems a bit excessive to me.
Yeah,
Like-
it seems out of place considering you're
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
have a s-
behind on board.
Yeah, you're gonna be behind on board because you have so many possible dead cards. Like you have
Yeah,
2 Moonfires, so that's 1, 2,
You
2 Wild Growth, 3, 4, and then the Bolt
because you
Roars.
don't even
guys.
want to innervate with this deck a lot of times. It's kind of like prep and Miracle Rogue. Like you don't prep out of this for board control, you save it.
Yeah,
So like in this deck, you're gonna save your at least 1 innervate for the turn,
Auctioneer.
but sometimes 2. So the zombie chows definitely help shore up the early game.
yeah, I really like
if
that.
you
as
curve
well.
out with this deck, it can work out really well. So like if you're looking to have fun with this, it'll work. Like I've done something like this before. It's pretty cool. But like Firebat said, sometimes you're just gonna have games like this is really soft to like Zoo.
Yeah.
Which you'll find a lot of on ladder. It's also soft to Hunter. You don't have taunts, you have bad healing. So you're going to find yourself getting run over in the games you lose, but in the games you win, you'll probably have a lot of fun. So as far as changing anything, I don't know. Seems pretty good. I think the second Savage Roar is
Yeah,
the
second
main
Savage
card. That's weird.
What about the Alex?
I think
That
Alex is fine.
yeah, it seems okay because you're not going to be like killing them. You're just looking to lock down board until you can ramp to Alexstrasza or like ramp to Auctioneer.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Because you have zombie chows, so they're always going to be at 30. Like,
Pretty much.
so those 2 cards work well together.
So I think we'll just move on to Q&A. If there's any questions, and then we'll be wrapping it up
Okay.
for like shoutouts, whatever you want to do.
Shout out to Firebat. That guy's pretty good.
Sweet.
So shout out to Teray. That guy's pretty good as well. I really
Yeah.
like his rogue deck.
Man, you didn't like it when you first saw it.
I
was
know.
telling you about it. I remember.
I wasn't a believer, and like in the
I
past
told
like
you, man.
2 days, I've used Sprint and Alexstrasza so much. I'm like, why weren't these cards working when I used to play it? But
It's so good.
I always like the Harrison though. Like, it's pretty good in the deck because weapons are one of like your huge weaknesses.
Yeah.
You're just playing all these 3/3s, and they're just like weapon 2 for 1 and kill you.
Okay.
No.
So B Baker asks, he was the one who posted the Druid deck. He wants to know which card he should replace the second Savage War with.
I'd say Sunfree Protector isn't terrible. I also think Haunted Creeper could be replaced with a Sunfree Protector if you wanted. Naturalize isn't a terrible pickup because you're going to be behind on board a lot, but you can cycle it with gadgets in, and the card disadvantage isn't that bad and can help you stall into like Malagos turns. You can also naturalize with Alexstrasza or naturalize while playing Malagos to help them try and like stick on the board in the late game.
Yeah.
What else? You could throw in like you only have 2 3-drops, so you could throw in another 3-drop just to lock that up a little bit. Try out maybe Earthen Ring Farseer, or try out like Harvest Golem, some sort of sticky 3-drop. Because like turn 1 you want to have Zombie Chow, and then turn 2 you want to like Wild Growth. But if you don't get the Wild Growth, then you have like other options. So something along those lines.
Also, Lotheb's a pretty good card. But
Yeah, Lotheb's really good anywhere in there. And Kobold Geomancer isn't terrible in the 2 slot with tempo plays with Moonfire to help you
Oh,
win against
baby.
like Zoo or
SI
something.
agent.
Yeah, it's like an SI agent. It's pretty
This
good.
guy's toast, sort of.
It's a 2-mana SI agent. You just like
Yeah,
play.
no, it's not though. It's like you play it to make Moonfire into a backstab.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Sick card.
I mean, it would just help your aggro matchups a little bit. I don't know. It's worth trying out.
So,
That Firebat, how was your girlfriend?
what was your answer?
Since I've gotten back from New York, she's having trouble walking now. But she's doing alright other than that.
Does she know all the fangirls that you've got now?
I got like 3.
Well, hey, it's 2, so you can pluralize it. But we had some random girl, just like we were traveling in a group to Chipotle, and a girl walked up to Firebat. She's like, I'm a big fan. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, fangirls.
There we go.
It's just the beginning.
Just the beginning.
After
I
you win BlizzCon? Yeah.
Oh
Got
my.
it.
There's supposed to be tons of parties at BlizzCon, so who knows? Might get lucky.
Damn. And I'll just be at home watching.
Well, you won't be watching that, but
I'll find okay.
So, Dud29 says, what are some good ladder decks once you get to higher ranks and there's more control?
Depends on the day, to be honest.
yeah, like it changes every day, every week. Just depending
Yeah.
on what you're playing, you gotta like feel out what the
Play
counter's
what you're
gonna be.
good at, play what you like, and like track how it's doing. So, if something's not doing well, chances are you're probably not just randomly playing worse than you normally do. It's just like the meta's not right for it that day.
Yeah, like you can hit with like almost anything, like hit #1 legend with like almost anything, just depending on what the day is and what the meta is that
You'll
day.
notice every class has hit like #1 legend at some point every month. So
Well, I've never been able to do it with priest, paladin.
somebody
Or,
just did it with Priest yesterday.
Yeah, like other people have. I've
Like,
never.
Yeah,
been
other people like people do it with everything. So
I'm sad though, because I've never been able to do it.
Firebat, you scrub. I've only done it with Murlocs. So what do I?
I've only done it with druid, hunter,
You're just gonna list
Warrior,
like 7
warlock,
classes.
shaman, and rogue. I've yet to been able to do it with mage, paladin, and priest.
Yeah, the shitty classes from way back when. You remember when those were just the 3 bad classes? Those were the days.
Yeah, they're actually like good now.
Yeah, they're all really good post
Except
Nax.
paladin. Paladin still sucks.
Yeah, we all thought it was gonna be really good too, and it
There's like
was
3
for-
people that. Yeah, it was for like a week, and then it was like, wait a minute, this class still sucks.
If you put mind control in priest, you beat it again.
Do we wrap up the show yet, or we're still doing?
Oh, we'll have one last question.
Oh, okay.
What do you think of the VIA game ban format from Sir Death Rattles? Balls, I mean.
What is it? It's like 9 classes.
Yeah, and then each player bans 1, and then you pick 2 that are safe that can't be banned, and then you each ban 2, and then you pick another one that's safe that can't, or pick another 2 that's safe that can't be banned, and then like ban 2 more, and then each ban 1.
So you're like only picking from your pool. You're not like picking from the same pool.
The ones you pick are the ones that haven't been banned yet.
So wait, like, what I'm asking is like, because in Fight Night we all picked. It was like if I ban Hunter, it bans it for both of us. But it sounds
Oh, no,
like
it just bans it for
Hunter-
that.
Okay. I'd like to see the Fight Night format again. I think it was really good, where like you're both picking from the same pool. So if I pick Priest, you can't have Priest, or like if I ban Priest, neither of us can have Priest. The V game format, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of like targeting. So like if someone were to face me, I wouldn't get to play like Shaman or Hunter ever, or like Warlock or something. It'll definitely bring out some strategy and diversity, but I don't know. I think ideally this is the best time to test new formats for other tournaments. But ideally, I want the tournaments to eventually land on a format and keep it. Kind of tired of every tournament having a different one that I have to like adjust to.
Alright, so I guess we'll just do shoutouts and end the show. Firebat?
Alright, shout out to Chakki and Twisted. Those guys are pretty cool if you haven't seen them before. And shout out to my team that I'm on a little bit, but not really. So
Are you going to be streaming?
Yeah, later tonight I'm gonna be streaming. Probably gonna take a break to like eat food and other stuff. You know.
All right, I'm going to post your Twitch chat so people can follow you. And
Oh, cool.
Watch you stream later. It's Hero Firebat, right? _Firebat?
Yeah. If you want to come on stream with me too, that'd be cool. We'll play some Mill Rogue. You ever
Oh
play that?
baby, that sounds
Yeah.
fun.
I can
Oh,
play. I
yeah.
can come on stream, and then I'll start streaming after you're done.
Yeah. We got up to 1200 earlier watching Mill Rogue, but had to go do some the turn 2 thing with D2 and Frodan.
Yeah, sweet. Around what time?
Like a half hour.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
All
it's
right, I'll
fun.
jump in the Skype call at some point. But
Sweet.
All right, and Chakki, you have any shoutouts?
just shout out to Team Coast. They've been pretty good to me so far. Pretty new, but it's going well. Shout out to all you guys for having me on the show. Shout out to everybody that watched, because chances are, if you're one of the 60 or so people that watch, you like some of us. But thanks for being
That's
our
true.
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dedication.
I do appreciate all my dedicated fans. I don't have as many as some other people, but you guys are the best.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Blow your fans a kiss.
Mwah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll give some shout outs. Shout out to Firebat and Chakki for being on the show. I really appreciate you coming on my podcast. You guys have some really interesting stuff to say, and shout out to SpArk for producing this whole podcast. He's actually hosting and producing at the same time, so it's kind of hard for him to be multitasking. So give him a big shout out for that one.
Alright, so I like to shout out Twisted as well, because he does a lot of work too into the show. He helps me prep, and he gets all the guests, so you have a pretty good partner thing going on. And of course, shout out to Chakki and Firebat just for being on the show. I know you guys are pretty busy, and I
You
appreciate
got the circle jerk thing down.
Definitely.
All right, so tune in for next time. Follow us on Twitter and follow the channel. We'll be on next Monday. We have to do it Thursday because I just got back from New York and it was like a whole bunch of traveling and stuff. But yeah, we'll be back on Monday with some new guests. Not sure exactly who, but yeah, well, that's going to be a surprise, so tune in to find out.